30 is when you walk into a bar or a VFW, and in that 30 seconds, you can already tell.
That guy right there is drunk, that guy's an idiot, and that guy down there knows it all.
There are programs out there beyond the VA.
Many nonprofit organizations. The Beer30 Show.
It's the Beer30 Show. Made by veterans.
For veterans.
All right, everybody, welcome to another edition here on the Beer30 Show with Danny and Joel, brought to you by Common Ground Golf Course in Aurora, Colorado, a place for all and all the game teaches. Once again, our call-in number and our text line is 720-316-0368. Today we was going to have a special guest, Soldier Hard Jeff, but for some reason we are not able to get in contact with him. So far it's beyond our reach. So what we're going to do is me and Danny are going to hope that he listens to this and that he calls in and we can add him to the conversation and interview him as we always do. But if not, we're going to talk about just some random stuff that that's came up. So Danny, how are you? And me and you were talking earlier about you going to the movies. How was that?
Well, me and my wife went and saw the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2 yesterday. And I had a good time out there. My wife loved the movie. She's all into the Hunger Game movies. But I never read the books. I don't know much about it. I had an idea of what was going to happen, which those aspects did happen. But it wasn't as exciting as I thought it would be. I guess it was kind of a letdown to me just because I expected more action. But, I mean, overall, it was still a good movie. If you're liking the Hunger Game movies, it's definitely better than Part 1, Mockingjay Part 1. But I still think the second Hunger Games movie was better.
Yeah, since I've had my surgery, I'm trying not to, but it's kind of hard not to. So when I go and watch these movies, you know how you get that that dog barking, it kind of like scares you a little bit, not too bad, but just catches you off guard. So I'm sitting here watching these movies, and next thing I know, I jolt, and it kills my back, and I hadn't ever really got into the Hunger Games, and I watched the Hunger Games 1 and the Hunger Games 2, and yeah, there's 3 movies. And the Hunger Games 3, I've watched all 3 of those movies so far that led me up to this point, because I kind of like watching movies, sequels, all in a row before I watch the final one. And I kind of get what you mean. It's just fascinating. When I see these movies, it's just fascinating. Where did these guys get this shit from?
Well, they're books originally.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy.
How do people make things up like this?
Yeah.
Well, I believe the Hunger Games, there was another book written years before that had the same premise of person-to-person combat instead of war and stuff like that. I don't remember what the book was called. I'd have to look it up. I am not prepared for this conversation as we would normally be.
No, that's okay. No,
I figured we'd just sit here and look at you while the music played in the background. Hey,
you know what? And everybody, we really apologize, but we're all soldiers. We all have PTSD. Things come up, and we really apologize that Soldier Hard Jeff isn't with us. But, he has our call-in number, so, if he gets a chance, then he'll call in. But the thing that I was going to bring up, was the big political thing this week, not really getting into politics, but so we got the Syrian refugees coming in. We're dealing with that. after the whole attack on Paris, after that happened. The big thing that I wanted to talk about, it came out yesterday. There are, I think Brandy said there are 5 soldiers that have deployed to Iraq on their own, Danny, on their own dime, and they're fighting ISIS right now.
Sounds like fun.
If I wasn't broke, man, I tell you, I would be on that plane. I said that to my wife yesterday, and she's like, "Oh no, you wouldn't." And I'm like, "Yeah, I would." She's like, "Oh no, you wouldn't." So
A lot of people don't understand how crazy us veterans actually are.
yeah, it's like it's like at a stoplight and somebody's car goes out on them and people helping him move it out of the way. It's almost like sitting there and just watching, and you can't do anything about it.
Hmm.
At least that's how I feel. Because of my injury, it's very hard for me to get around. Dude, I couldn't even think of going fighting with this thing the way it is. Hell, I have a hard time wiping my ass.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
So, but yeah.
So what do you think about the whole Syrian refugees? Are you in agreement? Because I know a lot of states are trying to say they don't want the refugees in their states. That's an apparent, an obvious thing. A lot of people don't want them here. What is your opinion on the matter?
Wow, there's 2 sides of the coin. There's a side to where it has to do with humanity. We're the ultimate power, the U.S., and we need to definitely. Oh, Soldier Hard is calling us right now. Hold on a second. Hey Jeff, we're actually on the air now. If you could call 720-316-0368, we can patch you on. Okay. 720-316 0368. Yeah, everybody's hearing you now. We're on the air. So once you call in, I'll patch you in.
Well, he sounds like a chipmunk through the phone.
All right, bro. Fine. Well, there's 2 sides of the coin. There's humanity, and there's,
The stuff, the terrorism and stuff from overseas.
terrorism. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's very hard to express my opinion. All I can say is that I will definitely definitely say that I think our soldiers should be taken care of before we help any refugees. But I'm sure nobody really wants to hear about that. Everybody's tuned in. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome for Soldier Hard. His name is Jeff. I'll call you Jeff, but Soldier Hard, a great veteran, helping vets every day. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing pretty not bad. How you guys doing? Thank you guys for having me.
Oh, no problem, no problem. Me and Danny was just discussing. I couldn't get a hold of you, and
You know what? I'm on California time, and I just totally forgot that it's 3 hours. You guys are the East Coast time, I believe, right?
Well, we say the name on the East Coast, on the East times, Eastern Standard Time, but I'm actually in Colorado, and Danny is actually in Tennessee.
Ah, okay. There's a lot of confusion.
That's
I'm with you guys.
That's good. Yeah, mainly when we do this show, mostly we talk about nonprofits and showing veterans all the programs that are out there beyond the VA. And I've been listening to. I don't really listen to rap music, but I've been listening to your music ever since 3 years ago. I'm one of the lucky ones that got your album where you autographed it, and that the red flag song. I mean, it speaks millions. A lot of people just don't understand PTSD, and your music
Yeah.
literally has spoke to us and kind of painted the picture for civilians, because no matter what kind of movies or books they write, they're never going to be able to get it spot on, and you really help out in that case.
I try to do the best I can with what I know how to do. So yeah, especially that Red Flags. It's still like the song is 2 years old, but it's still like one of my top songs right now, man. So it's requested.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just powerful. So we had a series of questions. We'll try to make it brief, but once again, thank you for being on the show. We're glad that we could get you on. Could you tell us a little? I know that you served in the Army, but can you tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about what inspired you to do this? And I'll
Okay,
let you
yeah.
have the floor.
Yeah, no problem at all. Yeah, I did 10 years in the United States Army. I got 3 deployments. I was a 19 kilo, which is an armored crewman, and I got out in July 2010, and that's when I really embraced the fact that I use music as my therapy. You know what I mean? I didn't want to talk to nobody about my problems, being isolated and taking all the zombie dope, all that, doing crazy stuff, and I just really didn't have a lot of battle buddies around me, so I did what a lot of veterans do, is isolate themselves, and then I ended up taking my music and just using my microphone in my recording studio as if it was a psych app. You know what I mean? So I made music, talk about what I was feeling, and then it just took off. It just took off. So I pretty much did it for my own therapy. And because when I record, I literally get lost. I totally forget everything about me. You know what I mean? Including where I'm at in my current location. So I get totally lost in it, and it was just I used it as my therapy, and the music just took off. The CNN ran a story with me, MSNBC, the NPR, news radio, everyone just they people tell me, a lot of warfighters told me that my music helped them, yeah. And I was like, I'm going to continue on doing this because because maybe I could, if it's helping me, then maybe it can help a lot of other people, and that's how it all happened for me.
So I've got PTSD as well, and I do the meds with the VA, but I don't so much go for the psychiatrist help, because I haven't found somebody that has meshed with me exactly. Is that the same boat that you're in, or have you found being a part of a group help you?
No, definitely. I mean, it's more like. For me, it's kind of different. With me is I like every person that I help doing what I do, whether it's music or being a parent and talking to them one-on-one. Every warfighter that I help, a little bit of piece of me comes back together. So when I help someone and they tell me that I helped them, they're actually helping me at the same time. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, so that's how I look at it. You know what I mean? And all the fame and all that other stuff is just a bonus. But what I'm really out for is just to seeing as much as veterans I can to help them. Even the husband, the spouses, and if I could help them understand their warfighter just through doing what I do, then it's a win-win situation for me.
Well, I think we covered the aspect of what inspired you to do this. But you said, I believe Joel said you were Army, right?
Yes.
Man, I was actually listening to you both talk, both being in the Army and, for us Navy guys, it just sounds like gibberish to us, so.
We won't hold it against you.
Well, no, I'll just don't know the mental capacity that we have. I mean, I can probably handle like 20 of you guys talking at once. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I got to make fun of the Army. You know how it is.
Yeah.
You got the Army, the Navy, Marines, and the Air Force. We all make fun of each other. So I guess the question that I'm going to ask you is you have an alias, the voice for our troops. Why do you think the military people gave you that name?
You know what? It's like, I don't know. I mean, like, they always told me that, like, thank you for giving me the voice, giving me a voice I couldn't explain how I felt to my family, but your music, I just play it and tell them, listen to that. That's exactly how I feel. You know what I mean? So I say the things that they want to tell their family, but it's hard for them to, and at first in the beginning, I really held on to that, but now I just kind of like let that go. I don't want to be the voice for veterans. I want to be a voice, I want to be a tool that's doing my part to help, you know what I mean? So there's other voices out there, that could speak for all of us as a whole. But in the beginning, I really took and held on to that really tight, but over through the years, I humbled myself and said, you know what? I'm a voice. I'm not the voice, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. Just like I'm the Paralympian, but I didn't really want the attention. I was trying to use that name to try to help other soldiers create other opportunities in other groups. You're not the first one. I think all veterans kind of get to that point where they want to help other veterans, but they don't want to be in the spotlight. They don't want to be that person. They want to help other veterans so that they don't have to fight as hard as we had to.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I have the favorite saying that I'm not rich and I don't have millions of dollars. I don't give money or donate money to people because I'm rich. I donate it because I know what it was like not having anything. I know what it was like when, you had toilet paper and you could only use 2 leaves because, money was tight. I know what it is to, work fast food, as soon as I turned 16 and having to do sports, trying to get that scholarship for college, which that's a different story. That never happened, but I know exactly what you mean.
Hello?
So did you have another question, Danny? Because if you don't, I'm going to go ahead.
Go ahead, bud.
Okay, all right. So in your eyes, what are some of your greatest achievements? We know that you got the honor of receiving proclamations from from Mayor Buddy
Dyer.
The Mayor City of Orlando, Florida. We know that you just had a concert in South Carolina. I believe it was South Carolina. How was that?
It was North Carolina, and it was amazing. There was a lot of warfighters who drove, 5-6 hours just to come see me. You know what I mean? It was very, very humbling because, starting off when I first started, I dreamed of, having that support. Now that I got that support and I see it, and I just embrace it. Like, they drive that far. Come on, you're gonna come hang out with us. You know what I mean? You're gonna come hang out. We're gonna talk, and we're gonna get to know each other on a personal level. You know what I mean? So it was amazing. It was a lot of support. A lot of support came out, and I appreciate it. And it's like that every show, every event that I go to, every event that I do. It's just like that. People will drive like hours and hours just to see me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's totally awesome. When you're on stage, do you still get chills?
Every time. I've done it so many times, but I still get nervous, and I know exactly why. It's because I care. You know what I mean? I care. I don't want to mess up. The day that I stop caring is the day that I should stop doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? But yeah, to answer your question about my greatest achievement is to me is my album. My album. I'm an independent artist. I fund everything on my own, and my album that released, it hit number 14 on the iTunes top 100 album charts against all the big major artists that's out there. You know what I mean? I was sitting next to Eminem and like big artists like that, T.I. and Ludacris, Tupac. My album was sitting right next to them on the chart. So that's my greatest achievement, music wise. But my greatest personal achievement would be when a warfighter tells me that I saved their lives through music. That's the greatest.
That's always a great thing. I mean, music's a very inspirational thing. So I know there's a lot of songs I'll hear or think back to a certain time and certain memories. And a lot of songs have made me happy or made me sad. I mean, it's a psychological issue. We actually talked about this in one of my psychological classes. So anyway, so you're talking about your albums. What are some of the popular albums that a lot of people might know you from?
Okay, that would be the Therapy Trilogy. That's the Therapy Session, Group Therapy, and the Final Session. Also, my latest one is Light Up the Dark. That one really took off. So it would be those four if I had to pick them.
Yeah, and I'm showing everybody because we're talking to you on the phone. You don't have video, but because of the setup that me and Danny have, we have video and we post the video. The nonprofit interviews and the notable people interviews, we post them on our page, and I'm showing everybody the album, Soldier Hard, the Group Therapy. You can still get it on iTunes. I believe you can still get the album. You have a website, don't you? You have a website.
Yeah. I got two actually. It's redcon1musicgroup.com and also soldierhard.net.
Awesome. So people that are interested in getting this album and they like the song, be sure to go to that website and get the album. The whole album's really good. If you just want that one song, Red Flags, you can get that off of iTunes. I think that's how I got it, to be honest with you.
Google Play, it's even on Spotify. You know what I mean? If someone got Spotify, they can listen to the whole album.
Right, awesome. Well, we are. Unfortunately, I wanted to talk to you more, but we're running out of time. Before you leave, Danny has one more question to ask you, and we're going to play the Red Flag song just so that everybody knows what we're talking about. And after Danny's question, we really appreciate you coming on, man. It's too bad we had a hiccup, but hopefully we can have you on again soon.
I'm going to make it up to you guys. We'll plan it again, and I'll be on the same page with you guys. I apologize.
No problem, brother.
But anytime. I can come on anytime.
Well, I guess my question, because I don't know what Joel was talking about, but Joel was wondering how he could be your groupie.
Oh, shut up.
Oh, God. Is that seriously the question?
No, that's not.
No, that's not the actual question. That's me teasing Joel once again.
Oh, okay.
So just for the listeners, one more time, what's the name of your website and nonprofit?
We're actually not a nonprofit, but it's redcon1musicgroup.com.
Okay.
As the number one, Redcon1, and it's also soldierhard.net.
Okay, so if you guys want to listen to some of his music, check out iTunes, Spotify, or to go to the website.
Search it on YouTube as well. I got about 45 music videos on YouTube.
Yep, we have that too. And just so everybody knows, we're going to go ahead and play it now. And once again, when this ends, we really appreciate you coming on, Jeff.
All right, thank you.
Redcon1 Music.
He was 24 years old, oh I yeah vet. Got out of the Corps, medals all on his chest. He was proud at the time, he fought for our country. As time passed by, he really wasn't happy. Day turned darker, heart turned colder. Pride all gone, anger took over. Saw the VA and they gave him medication to help him fall asleep and stop hallucinating. PTSD with TBI, he was diagnosed. He used to have friends, but now they ain't even close to life for the party. But now he just stays alone, bottle up Patron, drinking it till it's gone. He picked up the phone and a 45 Chrome. Told mom so miss her, hung up the phone. He wrote a note and this is what it said: I don't wanna live no more, I'm better off dead. You see the red flags, you can see them there shining bright. All you attention to the red flags. They crying out for you. They screaming out for some help, but you just ignoring them. Pay attention. 18 years old, only just a POC. Since he was a kid, he just glorified infantry. At 19, he earned him a CIB. Battle buddy died cause of death RPG. He saw it happen, his buddy died on his lap. He noticed both legs wasn't even both attached. He blamed himself, he thought it should have been him. Survived the whole war and didn't even get hit. Always thinking why his buddy died, why'd he get to live in his bag's room crying. Crying every day, morning, noon, every night. Blaming himself, he let his battle buddy died. He was a hard charger, but now he's just ate up. He had the whole world in his palms, but he gave up. He went to Home Depot and bought a rope. He hung himself in his bag's room, no. You see the red flags, you can see him there shining bright. All you gotta do is stop and open eyes. It's loud, and you could even hit him. All you gotta do is stop and pay attention, yeah, the red flags. You can see him there shining bright. All you gotta do is stop and open eyes. It's loud, and you could even hit him. All you gotta do is stop and pay attention, yeah, the red flags. You can see him there shining bright. All you gotta do is stop and open eyes. It's loud, and you could even hit him. All you gotta do is stop, looking, let's see. They crying out for help, but some don't respond. Ignoring all the signs till they dead and they gone. First flag you see, they'll be acting withdrawn. Wanna be by themselves, sitting alone. It's time to buddy up, cause yup, this is wrong. Survive in battle, but die when we're home. Yeah, it hurts, that's why I make this song. It's time we see the sign like the lights when it's on. You see the red flags, you can see them there shining bright. All you gotta do is stop and open eyes. It's loud, and you could even hit them. All you gotta do is stop and pay attention, yeah, the red flags. You can see them there shining bright. All you gotta do is stop and open eyes. It's loud, and you could even hit them. All you gotta do is stop and pay attention, yeah, the red flags. Yeah, let's start paying attention to the red flags. They asking for our help, they showing us signs, but we just ignoring them. Let's start paying attention, y'all. A lot of people may think that it's a cop-out, that they can't hack it, but it ain't about that. To them, it's the best thing for everyone around them. Let's wake up.
And once again, everybody, that is Soldier Hard, AK, Jeff. We really appreciate him coming on the show, talking with us and stuff. But we're running out of time, so today's power play, we'll go ahead and rephrase what we were talking about earlier. Today's power play is brought to you by Tee It Up for the Troops. It's a nonprofit. They got us T-shirts so that we can hand out to people, and part of the power play will be a question. The question for today is, I've been talking a bunch, Danny. Did you want to say the question?
I don't even know what question you're talking about.
Okay.
You're talking about the Syrian refugees still, or?
Well, no, the question that I was going to say is, for a T-shirt, you can call in 720-316-0368, or you can just email us later if that's what you want. Question is, what service was me and Danny in? What service was me and Danny in? So if you know that, answer.
If you listen to the show today.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm trying to come up with somewhat easy questions that, not hard, because I want to give these shirts out. We want to help veterans. That's the reason why we do the shirts. But the power play we was going to talk about was, you asked me what my opinion about the whole refugee. When we first started this country, the pallet that's in the Statue of Liberty's arm says we will take the weary and stuff. And that's okay. All right, that's fine. I have no problem taking in people, but my problem is, and this just because I'm so passionate about veterans, if we have veterans that are not eating and that are not in homes right now, why are we taking care of refugees? That was my only concern. And a lot of people was like, well, there's so many resources out there for the military. There are a lot of resources out there for the military, but we both know, Danny, that if you don't have a visual injury, if you don't find somebody that is compassionate for the nonprofit, and let's say you only got 20% from the VA, 20%'s nothing, but you
Mm-hmm.
still have an issue. Well, you're not going to get help. I mean, you aren't even going to get free health care from the VA unless you're over 50%.
Oh yeah, and you got to look at a lot of the homeless that we have. What era were they from? Vietnam.
Right,
A lot of Vietnam vets, a lot of Desert Storm. You're starting to see a couple of Desert Storm ones out there now. They didn't get a good handshake with the VA back then. A
right,
lot of them did. I mean, still, some people are still coming forward with the whole Agent Orange stuff. Um, but yeah, I mean, you got a whole bunch of homeless vets in the streets. You have homeless in general. I don't know why we're taking people in right now. Why are we spending money to bring refugees here when not only are we in debt, but we also have all this homeless and military vets and everybody else that still need help? Why would you bring more in and cause more of that?
right. And like I said, you're going to get. It's just like the Tebow conversation or the Manning conversation. Everybody's going to have an opinion. There's going to be people that's all for the humanity part of it. There's going to be people that is all for not bringing them in, not bringing them in. Regardless of the whole security thing, I'm not even talking about the security thing. I'm talking about just the whole situation, the whole painted. And if I offend anybody, I'm sorry, but that's just how I feel. But the way it's playing into play this week, it seems like, is Obama has brought them in. A lot of state governors have said, no, we're not going to allow this, but they can't by the Bill of Rights. I guess it's in the documentation that they can't refuse. Governments can't refuse. But then when they go to them on like a personal note, they would want to refuse them. Yesterday, I've heard that Republicans and Democrats, if you're a Democrat, Republicans won't marry you, and if you're Republicans, they won't marry you because you're a Democrat. That's how strongly they feel about each other. But on
Romeo
this
and Juliet.
issue, it seems that they've came together and they want to vote against this with Obama, and Obama sounds like he's going to use his executive power.
Powers. Yeah. A lot of people don't want him here. And of course, Obama's like, yes, bring him in. So yeah, he's done a lot of executive powers in his term in office, and I can't say I agree with a lot of them. So, on that note, it is time for our 2 minute warning since we are beyond our 2 minute warning.
Yeah,
but
but that's okay. That's all right. We wanted
we
to get
have
Soldier
reason.
Hard on.
Yeah, so this will be our last live show until after January 15th. There are reasons for this. With Joel's surgery, he's been in a lot of pain. I can't tell if you can see the grunts and groans on his face while he's talking here on the webcam. I'll sit here and kind of laugh about it a little bit, and I'll call him up and tell him, I still think it's kind of funny that he wears a neck brace and he's looking like kind of like Frankensteinish. But anyway, that's one aspect. The other aspect is my family is PCSing from Tennessee over the next month and a half. So it's very difficult for us with what we do and how we do it to where we can try to get the words out. So we have rescheduled a lot of our nonprofits, and we will be picking up lives over the next month and a half, 2 months. We will have reruns. So, Joel, go ahead and say something for the people.
Well, the thing that I learned today was that what his motivation was to create the music. I knew that it was somewhat helping him and somewhat helps others, but it was nice to hear the words out of his mouth. This is the reason why I do it, and it's the same reason why me and you do this show. So that's one thing that I was going to talk about how I learned. I was also going to let you know before I forget. When we return January 15th, we're going to be talking to Bobby Henlon. If you don't know who that is, he's a comedian. He's a wounded warrior comedian. And
I might get along with him just fine then, huh?
oh yeah, he's funny, dude. He's funny. So, but other than that, what did you learn today?
Well, actually, I didn't even know anything about his albums, to be honest. You get like just looking it over this week. That's the only time I've actually known about him. So it was interesting to get to listen to one of his songs. I still hadn't even listened to the song until you played it, and I could barely understand the words because it kind of comes through muddled on my end. But I don't know. I can't really say much I learned. I mean, getting to know a person, that's its own reward. So that was pretty cool.
Right. As you look, if you don't see the video, Danny is really tired. He started his, what is it called?
Me and my wife started doing P90X. Well, my wife's doing like the full P90X, but I'm only doing the partial P90X because there are some exercises I cannot do because of my back. But it's been 5 o'clock in the morning till midnight for me lately, if not longer. And everybody knows how much I sleep. Well, at least my friends do. I only sleep about 2 or 3 hours a night anyway. So I'm getting more and more worn out. So Joel's laughing about it because, we're both kind of in pain. He's just in surgery pain. I'm just in workout pain. So,
well, it'll be good that we have this little bit of a break, not only for us, but for the families. And, I mean, who really listens to the radio during Thanksgiving and ultimately Christmas and New Year's? Not a whole lot of people do. So it's probably best that we take a little bit of a break. But we will be back January 15th. Mark that on your calendars. And, like I said, we already said the last question for the shirts. And, if you want a shirt, write us. Give us a emotional, inspirational story. We'll send you a shirt as well. So, we're not trying to be keepers, but we have ran out of time, like Danny said. And if you don't have anything, Danny, we're going to go ahead and close and tell everybody to be sure to have a happy holidays. Depending on what your religion is, happy holidays. And we hope to see you back here January 15th. And once again, thank you for listening to us. We love our listeners.
Yeah, Joel says happy holidays, but if whatever religion you are, I will say Merry Christmas because I am a Christian. Happy Thanksgiving, Happy New Year. If you are Jewish, tell me Happy Hanukkah. I don't care. I'm not going to get offended by it. So, by all means, Merry Christmas.
All right, everybody. We'll see you January 15th. Have a great one, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Now, a message from your radio station.
We just like to say that any connection between your mother and us is purely Facebook related.
NBR Radio.